get rid of that. And I'm now recording. But if I press pause, so yeah, these tools down at the bottom here, which may or may not appear in the video recording, I'm not sure if it does, but they're the tools that come with Screencastify. So I could, for example, I can, if it's automatically on mouse pointer, which means that I'm using the computer as I would normally use it, and I can do whatever I want on my computer. But if I click on one of these other tools, like pen, then I can now draw on the screen like that. Now that is something you can also do with Zoom. I'll show you how to do that as well in a moment. But one thing to realize is that if I wanted to now, what a typical frustration with these kind of tools is the teacher or student will now goes, well, how do I now click on the thing that I want to click on? So you've always got to go back to the cursor, and now I'm back into controlling the computer. I can rub this out using the eraser. And with Screencastify, it does a nice kind of eraser where you can rub out part of the writing instead of just you. With Zoom and with Miro, actually, if I click here, it'll rub out the entire line that I rubbed out, which for some people might prefer. But yeah, I can embed my webcam, or I can hide the tools. I generally would say, oh, and I can also wipe the screen clear. I didn't realize that. So hiding the tools, I would, generally speaking, advise against that unless they're blocking something you need to access, because with the tools being here, I can quickly and easily pause and unpause my video whenever I want to talk to the client about something slightly unrelated that doesn't need to be in the video. So no, however, I will talk about in a moment about how you can do screen sharing in a much more interactive way. So I can give you permission to control my screen. In fact, I'll do that within this video. So this video will be mainly about what screen sharing plus, basically, what else you can do. So that is, those are the ones that come with Screencastify that you can use whenever you're having a lesson or not having a lesson, making a video, whatever you want. That happens when you're recording it. If we go up to Zoom, you can't see this, but the video will capture it. You have a bar, and in fact, you could do this yourself right now on my screen. You might want to have a go at trying to find the tools at the top that it'll say Paul is showing a screen, and you can click on those options, and there should be an option. Yeah, that's it. And then you should be able to find some tools there. And one of them will say annotate. If you click on that, another load of tools will appear. And so although you can't see mine, I can see mine, and the video will capture this. So I'm just going to go back to the mouse again. And so that ink that you just drawn, I can see. It also gives me a little name of the person who's logged in and of what you've called yourself on the login. Yeah, so I can rub that out. Actually, I'm not sure if I can rub out. Let me just see. No, I can't. Oh, I'm using the Screencastify tools there. Let me see if I can. Oh, I can rub out your annotations. So I'll just show you some of the other things you can do on this annotations things. Then again, like I say, the video will capture this, but you won't be able to see it on Zoom at the moment. So if you go to draw, you can draw a line like that. Use your regular one. You've also got a highlighter, so the highlighter is quite useful. So it'll make it like a highlighter basically. You can draw a diamond if you like. You've got solid shapes, highlighted shapes, or you got solid shapes like that. And you can draw you got arrows. So and then you've got these really useful stamps. So, for example, you might have a student, and you might say, put a heart by the answer that is correct, and I'll put a heart there, and put a cross by the one that is incorrect, and you can do that. So this is all things that you can do without it. So by the way, if you want, I don't want to go on tangent within this video, but I would recommend getting one of these and one of these if you haven't got already, a pen tablet. So this is the pen, and the thing that I'm writing on is called the tablet. Number one most important thing to get as a online tutor, I think. Just briefly talk about some of these other tools. I can write on the screen as well. and I've got a spotlight. So, oops, let's try that again. Okay, yeah, so spotlight shows where I am actually going, and I've got an arrow here so I can click, and if I'm looking at your screen, or if you're looking at my screen, I can, so classic thing when you're teaching a student is they're going to start pointing to the screen. What does this mean? What does this mean? And of course, you don't know what I'm pointing at. So you have to teach them to use this arrow, and they say, what does that mean? What's that? How did you get this big square? And so on, right? So, and then what about now? Of course, this is now over the top of the actual screen. So if I just use the whiteboard tool now and I do this, it just stays on the screen. It doesn't move with the screen. So it's something to bear in mind, that if you're writing on somebody's homework using the screen annotate tool, then they scroll down, then that writing is just going to appear in a different place. It doesn't save on it. It just simply, it's on the screen. It doesn't save anywhere. It's just something that you're, it's almost like you've got an OHP thing that's over the top, and you're, well, literally writing on the screen itself. So, so that's that. Now, if I wanted to actually move one of them, I can use the select tool, and I can actually move one of these objects I've drawn. Okay, I can change the size of it as well, or the shape of it. I can also clear all of your drawings, or I could clear all of my drawings, or I could clear all the drawings. So that's really, really handy. That's the screen annotate, and you don't need permission. As soon as somebody's sharing the screen, you can write on their screen, and they can write on your screen. Depending on who you're teaching, sometimes that can be distracting, but on the whole, it's extremely useful. So now we'll get into what makes it really, really extremely powerful, especially with Zoom, is the remote control. So I'm going to give you control to my screen. I'm going to let you control my screen, and I'm just going to get you to have a go at drawing using the Miro tools in a moment on my screen. So I'm going to say a remote control, and I'm going to say give control to you, and you should now be able to control my screen. Let's see if that's worked. And if you do, so I'm not touching the mouse now, and if you've, so you're still on annotate at the moment. So what you need to do is you need to go to click on the mouse cursor again on the annotate functions, or you may have to, let me just pause the video for this. So yeah, so you now have control of my screen, and you can do what you want. Now, sometimes I might just leave it like that. So I might leave it so as we both have control of the screen throughout the lesson, or throughout a period of the lesson. And we can both do it any time, or if I feel like it's just too distracting, I'll just go up here, click on remote controlled, and then abort control. So you now no longer have control of my screen. So those are the basic